Imagine two restaurants buying millions of dollars of each other's gift cards and then bragging about record sales. It sounds kind of silly, but that's essentially what's happening in the AI world today, or at least that's the critique. So let me walk through this web of circular deals that's unfolding and what we think this means for the future. Basically, OpenAI is the juggernaut in AI today, and they've been announcing these massive deals over the last few weeks with chip makers like Nvidia, Broadcom, AMD, and others. Now, these aren't conventional deals in the sense that OpenAI doesn't have the money, the tens or hundreds of billion dollars of cash sitting around to buy these chips today. So what it's been doing is these very creative forms of financing where in some cases OpenAI is asking the chip maker, let's say Nvidia, to invest or pledge to invest $100 billion to help OpenAI build these data centers. And in exchange, OpenAI agrees to fill those data centers with Nvidia's products. In other cases, let's take Broadcom or AMD, OpenAI is taking stakes, equity interests in the chip makers themselves. And then when these deals get announced, the stocks pop 30, 40+%. And that market cap can very quickly cover the cost of OpenAI's obligations to those chip makers and then some. So you're basically seeing this web of circular financing unfold where cash isn't exchanging hands today, but equity interests are effectively monetizing this belief, this growing belief in the execution and momentum of OpenAI as the leader in the AI race today. Now, our take is that it's definitely, in some cases, brilliant, but definitely creative and relatively new form of financing. It's almost like a vendor credit. You're getting your suppliers to cover the cost of the chips you're agreeing to buy. And the reason we think these very astute capital allocators are willing and able to do this is because of the belief that scaling laws will continue in AI. That's what this boils down to. If you believe that orders of magnitude improvement in these model capabilities will continue, subject to continuing to deploy tens or hundred billions of dollars of capital into these multiple gigawatts of capacity, then you can justify paying for future improvements with today's equity. You can justify these creative forms of financing. But it is a belief. It is a belief in Sam Altman and OpenAI's execution and momentum of continuing to climb these curve of model improvements. And if that belief starts to waver, if these model improvements stall, then we think there could be this rug pull moment where the supply chain gets very nervous, investors start to sell off or take profits in some of these stocks. And as market caps come down and that belief starts to waver, a lot of the supply chain could be left holding the bag. That's the risk here. But what's clear is I think there's definitely fundamental demand for these AI chips, data center capacity. It's fundamentally different than the internet era where companies were marking sales and booking revenue for products that wouldn't get moved, for consumer demand that wouldn't materialize. So there's real demand this time around. But what's clear is it is a belief on model improvements continuing, and the stakes have never been higher.